Hey, what's up guys? I am Hunter SC. As you all know, patch 13 recently went live, and with it we have gained access to skill runes. I have leveled this Witch Doctor up to 13, and I want to share each skill rune effect with everyone. Starting with Splinters. Splinters is unlocked at level 6. This is an effect on the Poison Dart skill. Now, instead of dealing 100% weapon damage with added duration weapon damage, 80% over 2 seconds, you do 70% weapon damage, but multiply it by 3 darts. So your total damage is more, 210 over 180, and your DPS is actually even higher because this damage is dealt almost instantly, whereas regular Poison Dart has a component that does poison damage over 2 seconds. So DPS is much higher, total damage is higher as well. So this is going to be a better skill whether you are targeting single targets or trying to line some enemies up, or lining destructible objects up for that matter as well. Next up, we have the Numbing Dart skill rune. This is actually the last skill rune you unlock in the beta. Numbing Dart has an effect on Poison Dart as well. The damage of Poison Dart doesn't change, but it actually slows your target by 60% for 2 seconds. So this is going to be useful against very strong opponents because it'll just make it extremely easy to kite them. So this has that snared debuff on this champion skeleton. Yeah, you can even sort of see at his feet the little ripple effect indicates that he is being slowed. So being slowed by 60% makes it virtually impossible for him to catch me, and it would be very easy to, use one Poison Dart and then mix in some more powerful spells and kite any enemy just about endlessly with this ability. Here we have a skill rune for zombie dogs. The Life Link skill rune effect will not drastically change how zombie dogs operate. Zombie dogs are going to do the same damage, they behave in the same way, but they absorb 10% damage taken to you. So they make your Witch Doctor a much more of a tanky character. If you're taking a lot of damage, well, it's basically damage reduction on your character, and that damage is then transferred over to the zombie dogs. Again, like I said before, zombie dogs behave in the same way. The main difference is aesthetics. Now they have these, now they've got sort of a red glow and like red sort of feathers or whatever they are sticking out of their head. Apart from that, they're pretty much the same old zombie dogs. They just really establish your character as a much more robust and tanky character when you have this skill rune selected. Now we're going to take a look at the Leaping Spiders runestone effect. Leaping spiders do more damage than regular spiders, 30% weapon damage instead of 25. They also leap up to 25 yards to attack an enemy. And because the corpse spiders in general do not last very long, having leaping spiders that really just jump right into combat is much more effective. Doing more damage, they last the same amount of time, and they sort of get into the fight a little bit quicker, just overall much better. They're also a much darker tint. They're like a dark crimson brown color instead of those gray spiders we're normally used to. The final skill rune available in the beta affects Grasp of the Dead. Groping Eels is a simple skill rune, but a very powerful one. It just increases damage of your regular Grasp of the Dead. Now the damage increase is quite interesting. I mean, we can see here 52% weapon damage per second instead of 40. But now if I equip some gear, it increases up to 72 instead of 52. So I'm not exactly sure the math behind all of that, but bottom line, you're always going to want to at least have Groping Eels selected simply because it does more damage. There's also slightly different animation. I actually prefer the original Grasp of the Dead over these eels here. But apart from those aesthetics, it really just comes down to damage and that kind of tricky formula that it's a little bit hard to understand exactly how they choose those numbers. They seem a little bit arbitrary, but at the end of the day, you know, it just does more damage. That's going to do it, guys. That is all 5 skill rune effects for the Witch Doctor. It is also worth noting that some of her skills have been switched around. Now we no longer have access to Spirit Walk, which just makes you run really quickly and you can go through any monsters that you want. Pretty useful ability for getting around. So now that has been leveled up to 16, so it's no longer available in the beta. There was another skill as well. The Zombie Charger skill, now level 14. Normally you could have access to Zombie Charger, but not anymore. So along with these skill runes, the